Myself, Sarita, biology lecturer, Government Girls Senior Secondary School, Jandiala. Today, I will explain the search for the genetic material from this lesson, Molecular Basis of Inheritance. First of all, we should know what is genetic material. So, any substance which transfers characters from one generation to another is known as genetic material. Genetic material in majority of the organisms is DNA, but in some viruses RNA is the genetic material. So the genetic material was searched by mixture in the nucleus of the WBCs, and it was called as nuclein, and it was the substance which was present in the nucleus. After that, Mendel, Sutton, and Morgan and other scientists have narrowed the search of the chromosomes located in the nucleus of most of the cell. That means it made it easy for the other scientists to find genetic material in the nucleus. But the question was, what molecule was actually the genetic material? That was not answered. For this, which material is the genetic material, transforming principle was given by Griffith. In 1928, Griffith performed series of experiments with Streptococcus pneumoniae or Diplococcus pneumoniae. So here it was this bacteria which caused pneumonia, and he noticed that there was a transformation in bacteria during the course of his experiments. So he used two strains of Diplococcus pneumoniae. One of the traits was that presence or absence of the surrounding polysaccharide capsule around the bacteria, and the type of capsule, that is specific molecular composition of the polysaccharide present in the capsule, and these were the characteristics which he considered during his experiments. So when he grew this bacteria in a culture medium, some produced smooth colonies, and these colonies were smooth and shiny, while others produced rough colonies which were rough and dry, dull colored. So S colonies, they were having a special coat of polysaccharide outside it, whereas R strain did not have any coat around it. When these bacteria were taken and they were infected in the mice died due to S strain of the bacteria because it caused pneumonia in that. But when mice was injected with a rough bacteria, the mice did not die because it is non-virulent. Now the experiment which was conducted by Griffith. First of all, he took R strain and it was injected into the mice, and the mice still survived. Oh, it was alive. Why? Because the immune system of the mice was active and it killed the R strain bacteria because it didn't have any polysaccharide covering around it. Now in the second case, when S strain was injected into the mice died. Now why the mice died? Because the immune system of mice, when it was attacked by the S strain of bacteria, then it had a covering of bacteria had a covering of polysaccharide, so it was not affected by the immune system of the mice. Therefore, mice was infected and it died. Then in the third step, Griffith was able to kill the bacteria by heating it at a high temperature. Then heat killed S strain, which was earlier virulent. Now it is heat killed. It became non-virulent. As a result, the mice survived when it was injected into the mice body. So, unknown pneumonia was developed in the mice. Now, in the fourth step, what he did was he took the strains of S bacteria, heat killed bacteria, as well as R strain. So, this one as well as this, they took the mixture of both of them, and it was injected into the mice, and the mice died. But if we see individually, the effect of R was that the mice was not killed, and when it was heat killed type S was used, the mice was still alive. But when the combination of the both were taken, or the mixture of the both of them taken, the mice died. So why this happened? Because S strain heat killed and R strain bacteria, they were these two, there was some kind of changes made by the S heat killed bacteria, that it transformed the R form into S form. So this heat killed bacteria, it transformed this R non-virulent into smooth type. As a result, this R bacteria, it developed a coat around itself of a polysaccharide, and it was converted to S form. So there was some material which passed from S to R, and that was known as transforming substance, or the principle was known as transforming principle. So R strain was ultimately converted to S strain, which was a virulent form. Now they must be due to a transfer of the genetic material. However, the chemical nature of the genetic material was not defined from his experiments. So the biochemical nature of material was not identified or defined from his experiments. What is this transforming material made of was not known till then. After that, Oswald Avery, MacLeod, and McCarthy in 1944, before the work of these three scientists, genetic material was thought to be the proteins. Now these three scientists, they gave direct evidence showing that genetic material is DNA rather than RNA or proteins. As earlier, before them, it was considered that proteins or maybe RNA, they are the genetic material. So for this, they demonstrated that the component of cell responsible for the phenomena of transformation in the bacteria Diplococcus pneumoniae is DNA. Now what they did? In a highly purified DNA form, type S cells, they utilized deoxyribonucleases, ribonucleases, and proteases. These are enzymes, and they utilize these enzymes to find out which is the genetic material in the transforming principle. So they purified the biochemicals like proteins, DNA, and RNA from the heat killed S bacterial cells. They discovered that DNA alone from S bacteria caused RNA bacteria to become transformed. So here they also discovered the enzymes These three enzymes were utilized for this experiment. They utilized DNAs, RNAs, and proteases, as I have said earlier. DNAs are used to break down the DNA, RNAs are used to break down the RNA, and proteases are utilized to break down the proteins. Now, in this, what they have done, in first case, in case of DNA, they heat killed S cells and R cells, and they utilized DNAs, and DNAs, it breaks down the DNA. As a result, there was no, because the DNA was broken down by the DNase enzyme, so there was no transformation and no RNA, no R form was changed to S formed. So when they utilized proteases, it destroyed the proteins, so it did not affect any transformation. But when they utilized RNAs, RNA was destroyed. So when RNA was destroyed, still the transformation occurred because it did not affect the DNA. From this experiment, it was clear that the genetic material is DNA. It's not the RNA or the proteins. They concluded that DNA is the hereditary material, but not all biologists, they were convinced. So then after that, the genetic material is DNA. The exact experiment that was given by Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase in 1952 proved that DNA is the genetic material. They worked with viruses that infect bacteria, and they are known as bacteriophages. So for their experiment to show that DNA is the genetic material, these two scientists, they worked with a virus that is known as bacteriophage. So this, what is bacteriophage? It is a virus which attacks the bacteria like this. So this is the virus and it has the genetic material inside it. So bacteriophages, they attach to the bacteria and its genetic material passes in the bacterial cell, and bacterial cell considers the genetic material of the bacteriophage as its own, and it produces a large number of viruses that are bacteriophages. So Hershey and Chase worked to discover whether it was protein, DNA, from the virus that entered the bacteria. So they grow some of the viruses on a medium that contained radioactive phosphorus, and some of the viruses, they were grown on a medium containing radioactive sulfur. So this is radioactive phosphorus and this is radioactive sulfur. So sulfur 35, phosphorus 32. Now when they were grown on a medium containing sulfur 35 and phosphorus 32, so radioactive substance is that substance which emits radiations. Viruses grown in the presence of radioactive phosphorus contained radioactive DNA. So when these viruses which were growing in the phosphorus, they developed DNA which was radioactive. On the other hand, the bacteriophages which were grown in the sulfur, they contained sulfur in their coat, which was made up of proteins. So bacteriophages, they are composed of 50% of proteins and 50% of the DNA genetic material. So the Hershey and Chase showed that DNA of the virus particle enters the cell where most of the protein of the virus remain absorbed to the outside of the cell and only the genetic material entered inside it. So after that, you can see in the diagram. So these bacteriophages were grown in a culture medium containing S35. As a result, its coat was labeled by the sulfur radioactive substance. Now, when this sulfur and DNA was not labeled, when it attacked the E. coli, only the genetic material entered the E. coli, and the bacteriophage was still, the protein coat was outside. Then it was blending was done so as to remove these bacteriophages from the bacterial cell. Then centrifugation was carried out, and all the new bacteriophages, they were unlabeled and they contained no radioactive substance. In the other case, when the E. coli bacteriophage was grown in phosphorus isotope P32, because phosphorus is present in DNA, so DNA got labeled and this protein code did not get labeled or radioactive. Now when the bacteriophage, it grows, attaches itself to the E. coli, it transmits its genetic material which was labeled inside the E. coli. After that, centrifugation was carried, blending and then centrifugation was carried. It was seen the new bacteriophages, they were having genetic material DNA which was labeled with the phosphorus 32. Now from these experiments, it was clear that the DNA component of the bacteriophages is injected into the bacterial cell while the protein component remains outside. However, it is the injected component, that is the DNA which entered inside the E. coli, that is able to direct the formation of new viruses particles complete with the proteins. That means when the viruses, they multiply inside the E. coli and E. coli liberates the bacteriophages, large number of the bacteriophages are released which have DNA which is labeled and protein coat is formed. Viral proteins remain outside the host cell, so they remain outside viral proteins. Viral DNA is injected into the host cell. Injected DNA molecule cause cells to have additional viruses, more viral DNA and proteins. So this proves that nucleic acids rather than proteins are the hereditary material. So it is clear from this experiment. So bacteriophages containing P35 were allowed to infect non-radioactive bacteria. All the infected cells became radioactive. So this is clear that phosphorus, when it was labeled, bacteriophages, they were labeled with phosphorus, all the allowed to infect non-radioactive bacteria, but the infected all the cells, they got infected cells became radioactive because the radioactivity was passed on the next generation of the bacteriophages. Now when it was infected with the bacteriophages were labeled with the S35, then the virus coat removed. Practically no radioactivity could be detected in the infected cells. So this is the complete experiment or the summary of this genetic material, how it was identified. So this is bacteriophage with here the radioactive protein, here bacteriophage, radioactive is phosphate, Here radioactive is sulfur S32. Here it is P35. Now we will see this side first. So when these bacteriophages, they enter the E. coli, the outer coat is labeled. DNA is not labeled because the outer coat has sulfur in it, so it becomes labeled. DNA does not contain sulfur, so it is unlabeled. Now the DNA has entered inside the cell. No radioactivity is detected in the cells. So radioactive now after centrifugation, if you see the lower portion, that is the bacterial part, cell has no radioactive detected here. Only it is present radioactive substances of the, that is of the phage, is present in the supernatant. So supernatant only contains the sulfur part, so that is the radioactive part. So no radioactive detected in the cells, only in the supernatant. In the other case, now this bacteriophage where the DNA is labeled. Now DNA, first bacteriophage attaches to the E. coli, then the genetic material passes in, that is step is known as infection. Then blending is done where both viruses and bacteria, they are blended. Then centrifugation is done. Now what happens in the centrifugation? After centrifugation, bacterial part you will see at the lower portion, and bacteriophage phase you will see on the upper part, that is the supernatant. So radioactivity is observed at the lower portion where there is bacterial cells. So from this it is clear that radioactive that phosphorus, the DNA which had radioactive labeled phosphorus, that was the genetic material because it was passed to the new progeny. So this completes the topic, the search for the genetic material. Thank you.